Okay, right here on Nigerian soil. So she's here with us in the studio this morning. Janet, thank you very much for coming in the studio. We thank you very much for being part of it. She's the CEO of the London campus of Coventry University, as well as the president of the Coventry alumni in Nigeria, Mr. Ajibose. Thank you very much, Anthony.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, thank you for two of you being here. Let me start with Janet. The issue of entrepreneurial education seemed to stand out very distinctly from what other universities do. What we've always learned about, you go there to get degrees in banking and finance, or you study law or medicines and things like that. What makes this entrepreneurship, employability and enterprise very unique to your university?
Well, thank you. In your introduction, you mentioned that the business world is becoming increasingly complex. And we've been listening very carefully to employers in the UK and in other countries. And they've been telling us about the kind of skills and knowledge that they need their graduates to have. And we've taken that information and we have developed a range of courses which will be delivered right in the heart of the City of London, which will deliver graduates with those skills and experience.
So, what you're doing right now is that, look, it's no longer the same world, what you call knowledge-based economy, as we speak. If you take the case of the UK, for example, the number of employers that need certain skills to deliver, not necessarily because you have a bachelor's degree or whatever, but it has to be tailor-made to what my organization or that organization needs to be able to employ you. So it's not just enough to say, I'm a university degree holder.
It certainly isn't anymore. Employers are becoming much more discriminating in how they recruit graduates and the type of skills that they're looking for. And certainly the knowledge is important, but so is the application of knowledge. So is the ability to be critical in decision making. So is the ability to be strategic, to work in teams, and in particular, in this day and age, to work in multicultural teams. And that's why London is such a fantastic centre for a global business education. Our students will also have the opportunity during the time in London to spend some time with an employer in an internship or a consulting project, so actively engaged in a real life business situation, practicing those skills that we will be developing during the programme. And that means that when they leave, they can demonstrate to employers that they really can be trusted in a real life work environment. They will be the managers and leaders of tomorrow.
How does, of course, this was initially designed for the UK's environment. So when you talk about a country such as Nigeria, it's a different ballgame, as it were. So how do we, how do you employ or deliver, employability, enterprise, and entrepreneurship in an environment such as ours?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. We have actually designed the programmes from the outset to be truly global. They're not UK programmes, although we're a UK-based institution. We have listened to the voices of employers from a range of countries, and we have taken into account what they are looking for. But it's remarkably similar. An employer in Nigeria is looking for remarkably similar skills to an employer in the UK. But of course, different economies have different dominant sectors. And here in Nigeria, it's a resource-rich country. Oil and gas, for example, is a growing sector here, and therefore we are offering an MBA with a specialism in oil and gas on the London campus.
Now you touch what you call the raw nerves, oil and gas. So let's talk about the man who's Nigerian. Anthony, let's bring you in at this point. We'll come back to the oil and gas story. More importantly, how does this benefit Nigeria? Let's what you call the home advantage.
I should have said earlier, the skill is quite important. The boundaries between countries are disappearing, and all employers are looking for the same thing. I want someone with that skill. Not just the knowledge, not just the paper certificate, but the skill. The skill is quite important to manage any business. And at Coventry, that is what is the forefront, because we have tutors that are both practical in nature, they have experience in the field itself, and the academic knowledge. So they bring both of that into perspective and impact that on the student. We tend to solve real life situations, problems during our seminars. A team of 3-4 people from that will cut across the continent will come together and provide a solution for that. So that will be the same thing you will face in a company, in an organization, no matter where it is, because as you're here, you're liaising with other people from other countries. So you need that cultural background, you need that universal skill that is widely acceptable to prosper in your business.
When we talk about Nigeria, how does this benefited us? So if we look at, well, what Nigeria gains from this kind of thing, Anthony, let's take
not putting this into our faces. You're in an environment where I did my first degree in Nigeria. My master's program was done in the UK, and there's a huge gap between what I did in Nigeria and what I did in the UK. The skills I acquired, apart from the fact that I worked for 5 years before going for my master's, there was still a lot that I acquired.
In what field was that?
My background was in broadcasting.
Okay.
I did communication language arts from the University of Baden, and I did an MBA in business because at that time the DFID stipulated that management was a problem in managing resources of everyone's economy. So at that point, taking that MBA was good, and specializing in international business made me see things in a different light, made me see how to manage an organization, how to manage resources, how to acquire that skill, presentation skill, for instance. Sometimes you have people given a presentation to defend whatever you've written. It might be a problem, but those are the things that you will learn while in class, because at every class you must give a presentation, you must defend what you've worked on, and it's made me better, seriously.
Janet, let's get back to you regarding the type of economic life of Nigeria that you think this university, these 3 E's, as we put it, will impact with Nigeria. You talk about the oil and gas sector. Why is this specific? Is it because there is so much skill requirements within the oil and gas sector in Nigeria? Will it be useful at the end of such courses, either at home or abroad?
Yeah, well, I would emphasise that the MBA Oil and Gas is designed for students from a wide variety of countries, of course, and not just Nigeria. But it is designed to give those students the management and leadership skills that they can apply specifically within the context of the global oil and gas industry. So I think that's one way in which the graduates from our programmes can come back to Nigeria and indeed other countries and help to develop, using those skills that they have acquired on the course and in their internship, to develop the leadership and strategic direction of the future. But there are other programmes as well that are also important. Nigeria has a tremendous resource in its people. Human resource management will be a growth area in the future, talent management. And again, we have an HRM, Human Resource Management, MBE, designed to develop those managers of human resources for the future.
In terms of setting up, you're setting up in Nigeria. Am I correct?
No, we're not setting up in Nigeria. We're setting up in London, which, of course, as you know, is a global business capital. And where better to study international business than in the world's great global financial and business centre. That also gives us the proximity to the centre of major multinationals, the employers that we're working with in the continuous delivery of our curriculum. Anthony has mentioned that we employ practitioners from industry as well as academics to ensure that our programmes are always completely up to date. They're giving us real life case study material for our students to work on. So London is a tremendous centre in which to have a global business education with people from all over the world.
Tell us a little bit about the school. You got the Entrepreneurial University of the Year 2008, well commended. What do we have on ground in this kind of a school? Because, well, you're taking what you call business unusual approach to entrepreneurial education.
Well, what we everything that we deliver is career oriented, is career relevant. Our tagline, if you like, on the London campus is a real business experience, and we are dedicated to delivering that real business experience from the moment that students walk through our door. And we do that by being an extremely professional workplace in which to operate. We don't feel like an institution, it feels like a workplace. And Anthony has described the kinds of activities that students will be engaged in. They won't be sleeping at the back of the hall listening to long, boring lectures. They will be kept busy. They will be behaving as they will be expected to behave when they join the workforce upon graduation.
So it's a bit of an office in a university environment.
Yeah.
Tell us about your experience, Anthony.
I studied at the main campus, which was Coventry itself, West Midlands of England, and there the university decided to put that into London and make it more business oriented. What we did was we had 3 hours of each module would take us 3 hours a day. The first hour will be purely academic, but the next 2 hours will be a seminar and practical base. You're given a problem to solve. You go home in a team. It's always a team. You need to be a team player. It's not an individual thing. We make our research, get all the facts together, and make a presentation in front of loads of people. Your presentation, you have people from different cultures, people across the continent. So you need to watch more than what you're saying. You need to also respect each other's culture. There are some things you will say that will be offensive to the next person. But at that class, we're in a mini world, and I learned a lot. There are some things I normally will say that I will never say again. I don't want to start giving examples. I don't want to start giving examples on air. But there's some that are totally offensive.
Yeah.
Let not go into that. We might talk about this after the program.
Okay, I think we need to take a break. Maybe we'll talk about that on the camera. Unfortunately for our viewers, you won't be hearing some of the things we'll say. After this time, I will come back to you after the break. You're watching Business Morning. We'll come back with market headlines and stories around the world. The European markets in a very nice mood. The second trading day for the current week. So let's keep it that. We'll try to track our own market in about 5 minutes from now. Where's the local bourse heading? The business world is open for business as we speak. So let's take a quick look at the global market stories. The Americans will reopen in a few hours' time. The opening bell on Wall Street will start from where they finished off about 0.5% on major indices on Friday ahead of the Independence Day holiday. Of course, later this month, the upper legislative house and the Capitol will discuss the need to put the final, pass to the documents being put together by President Barack Obama for the financial markets reform. But how soft